and
Yeah,
help in blending out fuel as a biofuel.
I think before going in the partnership with the HPCL, we should have a feasible study of the commercialization and what are the requirements of the market. Means what are the advantages and disadvantages, what quantity of people are demanding these. We should first make a feasibility study, or they want to do more research in this area. We have to also look on these aspects also.
कोलेबोरेशन काम करेंगे। जैसे कि मैं यूपी है, बिहार है, हरियाणा है, या स्टेट आते हैं। यहाँ पे जो जब धान उगते हैं दाव, तो उन पर पराली जलती है, जिससे कि पोल्यूशन बढ़ता है, एनवायरनमेंट का हेटिक होता है। तो हम उनको समझाएंगे। तो हमें ऑयल कंपनी है, आईओसीएल वगैरह, उनके साथ ज्वाइंट वेंचर करने से फायदा मिलेगा। लेकिन एक टेक्निक ये भी है कि हम इनसे, जो यहाँ के फार्मर्स हैं, इनसे ही कुछ हम इनको कल्चर, एजुकेशन, डिस्काउंट दे के ऑयल सेक्टर में, और इनके साथ कोलैबोरेशन करेंगे तो इन सब पराली मिल जाएगी, जिससे हमारा जो वेस्टेज है, उस वेस्टेज से भी हम कम चला सकते हैं, जिससे हम बायोफ्यूल बना सकते हैं। और ये बायोफ्यूल जो ब्लेंडिंग है, उसमें काम आ सकता है।
Yes,
Okay,
we can
instead of going to the
we
last
can
point of
centralize
our
and
HPCL,
with the
decentralize.
PSUs like
We can
IICL
sign a
and
MOU with the
HPCL and all. In that case, we have one of the best benefit is this, because they have a already customers, they have a already targeted peoples there, so we can sell selling of the fuel is very easy in that case. So it's very, or because they have a already setups, everything is there, everything they have. In the case of that, we can sign a MOU with government and subsidies also we can take care.
right, I will say that instead of going to the large venture, we must go with the we must go with the government sector. Why? Because if we go to the large venture, it can also exploit whatever the agriculture waste we are creating. They may demand a large amount of the agriculture waste, and it will increase the priority, which our friend speaker has already mentioned that.
I would like to add a point here. It would be better if we take the technology from HPCL, IOCL, etc., and for ethanol blending, etc. We can borrow technology from big companies. And coming to logistics point, first we need to target the local markets, so that as a small company, will not have any problems regarding logistics. And after that, if we get successful, we can partner up with other companies and we'll scale it up to other states.
If we talk about tech transfer, then we can go for centralized and
the issue of funding
decentralized.
also. We have to increase the funding so that we can do more research and check the areas where we can expand our MOUs with the farmers and the companies to sign the joint venture. Funding, we have to also increase the funding so that research work can be carried out.
If we talk about tech transfer, then we can go for centralized and decentralized discussion is if they do tech transfer, then we can go for decentralized, because after decentralizing that we can use the technology at a different fuel station and refinery. But if they don't do tech transfer, they do joint venture, then we have to use the technology at a nearby site only.
I think I agree with my friend's point, because transporting fuel is more expensive than transporting the agriculture waste, which will reduce the cost, and also uh, And one thing I would like to add more, that MOU is a non-legally binding document, which is mutually like document between two or more people. So I think we should first legalize the contract between the farmers, and which I have first mentioned in the introduction, said we should legalize the contract between farmers and the company. So to build the trust between farmers and the company, then we can go to HPCL and IOCL. So first procurement of the agriculture waste is done, then we can move on to the joint ventures.
हाँ, मैं भी उत्तम की पॉइंट से एग्री हूँ, क्योंकि अगर हम डिसेंट्रलाइज में उनके बच्चों को हायर करेंगे, या उनकी जो अथॉरिटी है, जो नेता है वहाँ के, जो जानते हैं पूरे एरिया को सही तरीके से, और उनको हम अपनी जो ज्वाइंट वेंचर या कुछ भी काम में लाएंगे, तो उससे क्या होगा, वहाँ के जो लोग बागों को टच पड़ेगा, HPCL का एडवर्टीज ज्यादा होगा, उनकी जो अपनी जो ऑयल सेक्टर है, इसमें जो मार्केटिंग का जो है लेवल इंक्रीज होने के चांसेस रहेंगे।
अभी तो हमारे पास बस
have a
यूपी और
contract
हरियाणा,
with the
यूपी और पंजाब
agriculture,
से ही
as
हम
they have
एग्रीकल्चर
already
वेस्ट ले रहे
mentioned.
हैं। अभी तो हम सिर्फ यूपी हरियाणा से एग्रीकल्चर वेस्ट ले रहे हैं। अगर हम decentralized में चले जाएं तो we can also take bio waste from other state as well, and we can do contract with farmers.
Definitely,
Yes.
we can do that, and it will also increase our production, which is currently at 85% to maybe like 95%, and which will be boosting our India's economy also.
With this, we have to also see a ROI of this mixing, because nowadays what we can see, ethanol blending gives lots of complaint to the customer, like fuel tank leakage or rusting. So if these complaints come more frequently, this will drop down the market. It will affect the market. उससे क्या होगा कि हम लोगों को एक उस पे उसका एक आरओआई देखने के लिए वो एक प्रूफ होना चाहिए, फ्यूचर प्रूफ भी होना चाहिए, ताकि लोग उसको अडेप्ट करें। मीन्स इथेनॉल ब्लेंडिंग करते हैं या और भी किसी चीज से ब्लेंडिंग हम करते हैं फ्यूल में, तो उसकी वजह से कस्टमर लॉस नहीं होना चाहिए, बिकॉज एट द एंड व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू ग्रैब द मार्केट। हमें मार्केट ग्रैब करना है, उसकी वजह से हमको फंडिंग भी रेस करनी है, और एट द एंड एज अ प्रॉफिट मेकिंग कंपनी वी हैव टू इंक्रीज आवर आरओआई आल्सो। So
To
these steps
resolve
can
this
also
issue,
be
I
taken.
believe that we must not force every customer to have the blended oil. Okay, we must give them option. If they want, they can take the blended oil with ethanol, or if they don't, they should simply pay for more. Like they should be charged extra, right? And that will basically give an good reputation to the HPCL also, since we are not forcing the customer to consume their products.
We
Reputation
we
can
cannot
talk
also
force
be
about
the
boosted.
Point
tie
here
up,
manufacturers to
regarding licensing
have
our
a
own plants.
same type
If we
of
want to check,
engines
it
that
will
can
be better
support
if
the
we
ethanol
license
blended
our.
fuel in the future. So we cannot have a issue that we have today of water of ethanol blending leads to low efficiency of the vehicle engines.
I have one
Guys,
point
I
on
think
strategic
I
tie-up.
I
think
think
Like if we
ethanol
go
blending is
for
not
tie-up
a
with PSU
the
companies,
efficiency of
all
an
PSU
engine. It's to
companies,
reduce the carbon emission.
if we
guys,
talk
I
about
think
strategic tie-up
the
with
main
oil
issue.
PSU companies, then we should do tie up with oil companies, because they are also going to use that biofuel, and we can means we can just help each other instead of going for government for to get that funds or to other party. With the help of other PSU, we can also do tech transfer. We can also share our fuels if required, and we can also plan our distributors as well.
Dear members, I would like to highlight that we are discussing how to enter the market over here, and not discussing about how we can benefit from joining. We are discussing about how we can benefit from joining HPCL, IOCL, and maybe other joint ventures. We are also seeking investment in these joint ventures, which might help us entering into the market, which might help our supply chain, and to increase our downstream blending facilities, along with helping us in logistics and infrastructure, which are prevalent in these huge setups, HPCLs and IOCLs, which already have industry experience. So us being a small startup can definitely help make use of these infrastructure that they already have. Now, what we can provide to these HPCL or IOCL, what we can provide is that we have nice technology for second-gen biofuels, which they are also interested in. They are nowadays driving towards this biofuels, second-gen biofuels, ethanol blending. E20, E50 nowadays, E80 is also prominent, which HPCL is especially pushing forward to. So we need to try to exploit this. We need to try to use this, and try to exploit the agriculture waste also, which is in large margins as well. So we need to discuss about how to enter this market, rather than discussing about supply chain, and how to enter this market should be our prime focus of discussion.
I think I
I
agree. We
think I
should
think
go
for
for
this
the we can provide the technology, and in the joint venture we can ask the companies such as IOCL and HPCL to provide infrastructure and logistics, which will, I think, improve the efficiency of
Rather,
work done. And also, I think since HPCL and IOCL are moving towards the sustainability, so I think it will be greater step, and also boost the reputation of IOCL and HPCL.
and also support from government will also help us increase our profit margins as well, which will
Yes,
definitely be beneficial.
yes.
and with the
If we
collaboration
need
of
to scale
these,
up
with the
rapidly, we
collaboration
need
of HPCL
to.
and IOCL, we can identify what are the various biofuels we can use for blending, which will give us a better efficiency for our fuel for our vehicles, and provide better thermal and mechanical properties to the vehicle also.
And we should also definitely license this technology, but we should also keep exchanging technologies and teaching whomever we are joint venturing with. We need to transfer that knowledge so that they're also interested in working with us. Maybe further transfer of R&D can be done regarding this issue as well. So partnership strategy should be that we should license our tech, but we need to transfer our technology. We should transfer our knowledge so that they're also interested. And we need to discuss about the commercialization path as well. So how do we need to do we need centralized or decentralized product plans? How
I
do
think
we
we should go with the decentralized, as one of the friend mentioned, and also I've also mentioned that.
डिसेंट्रलाइज में क्या है कि जो ट्रांसपेरेंसी रहेगी वो भी काफी हद तक अच्छी रहेगी, क्योंकि एक एक बंदे के हाथ में पूरी पावर नहीं जाए, अथॉरिटी नहीं होगी। जिसको जो करना होगा वो अपने हिसाब से
If we do decentralized, if we do decentralized and also do strategic partnership, then this can also be very beneficial.
In decentralized system, we can
I
cover the
second with
large
that.
area from the farmers for providing the agricultural waste. So
मैं क्या अलग
we can convert the, especially get converted to a biofuel.
I think we should go with the
before joining any
decentralized.
ventures, right? Before joining any ventures, we must have a list of what are the advantage and what are the disadvantage. Whether what are the fields in they have R&D done, it will what are the patent they have done. We can take that points into the consideration before joining any HPCL or ISCL or the private ventures, right? Which can basically boost our whatever technology we have right now.
Yes. Yes, I definitely think that, and we also can do SWOT analysis of what we have, so that we can make sure of which direction we're moving on with, and if that this decision is nice. And we also need to do risk analysis of the market, because we need to know if this is profit generating market or not, and we need to see how the returns are, so that we make sure that we're going in the right direction. So,
I think it is mentioned that it is verified at the pilot stage in the topic itself.
yes.
Yes,
So I
it is
think
successful. It is successful at pilot stage with 85% efficiency.
Yes, and then now it needs to scale its operations. So we're trying to. That's the main reason to scale it.
yes.
Is the main reason to get into a joint venture. I think that would be definitely a nice move from our side if we try to get into.
I think we should prepare a feasibility report of our design. Maybe we are in a pilot stage, so we need to prepare a design like a 500 KLPD plant or something like that, where we'll be doing the cost analysis and how much the equipments cost and the material cost, infrastructure and all that, so that we can get the approximated project cost of the plant, and then what are the ways through which we will be transporting our fuel, and the sellers and how we will be selling it, whether we are going to do it with the local blending depot or we are going to directly sell it to the HPCL and then they will be selling it. We also have to discuss about that, and then coming to the rate ROI points. So return on investment, we need to also invest some part of the revenue that will be generating to get technology better in the R&D sector especially, so that we can increase the percentage of blended fuel in the percentage of alternative fuel basically in our gasoline or diesel, whatever is possible. Also we should make this scalable by making more and more studies and doing more such of a pilot plants. And also if one more point is mentioned in the task that is it is operating at 85% of in the 1 year. So we will also be looking forward to increase it to almost 92 or 94%. If we consider that our plant gets shut down for 20 or 25 days, so it should approximately run for at least 330 days. So we should also focus on.
Yes, I think
Apart from doing this,
the point my friend has mentioned, if the plant is shut down for 20 days, we have to look down. We have to look down the other things also. Like for sugarcane, it is available for 3 months in a year, in a half month year. So we have to take different fuels as well. Like sunflower is there, or eucalyptus oil is there, which we can use for blending. So we have to identify other things also.
Yeah.
Off season, so they can provide the off season.
Friends, now we should conclude the topic. Like,
Apart from, I would like to just add one more point,
Uh-huh.
that apart from these short-term goals that we have discussed, we should also think of long-term and create our own supply chain, try to establish vendors who can supply us in later stage if we want to create our own domain in this, and they can help us. We should create logistics chains and supply chains which we can specifically work on, maybe have some separate departments on, and they can manage these so that they're trained in it if someday we need to expand it. And in this long-term goal, I would just like to add before concluding as well.
I want to add also one point regarding rate of interest.
In that
On rate of
way, we
interest and
should also
stability, we can also do market study of the previous companies. If anyone have done such thing before, then we can do their case study to know the stability and what they have got the rate of interest on that.
Yes.
So, so one of my friends can conclude if they have the points for the conclusion.
Yes.
If
So, us working for a green flame bioenergy, we are interested in pilot. We are interested in piloting our startup, and we need to enter the market. We have the technology to generate second gen biofuels that we have made from agriculture waste, including sugarcane husk, etc. We are running ethanol blending program with 85% efficiency and stable operations. We need to seek investment in JVs that can help us enter the market. And I believe Green Flame Bioenergy we believe we have concluded that we should definitely enter the JV, and because it will definitely help us enter the market. It will help with supply chain. It will help us downstream the blending facilities, and we will also get support from government, which will help us generate margins. And they will also, HPCL, IOCL will also definitely be interested in this, because we have great tech that we will license, and they will also get exposed to this new technology, and they would like to have knowledge of this as well. They will also have we also have a decentralized commercialization path, which provides more transparency, and also that we have nice rate of interest that we can compare and do risk analysis and SWOT analysis that we can work on. Financial models can be developed based on this, and in long term we can also create our supply chain, logistics, and separate departments where we can segregate different vendors so that we're future ready for expansion as well. So that's our conclusion.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So now I want to learn how to conclude that point. Now from next DT I will target that. So thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. After first GT I was very nervous, but thank you today.
पॉइंट्स दिमाग में नहीं आ रहे थे। सर वो आधा सर वो 3 पॉइंट ना आधे टाइम पे वो ग्रुप में नहीं आया था, वो मैं लिख रहा था उसमें ब्लैंक हो गया। तो
मैं एक सजेशन दे सकता हूँ कि यू कैन, मतलब जब तुम क्वेश्चन पढ़ रहे हो ना, तभी अगर कुछ माइंड में आइडिया आता है ना, साइड में लिख लो एक छोटा सा। ये मैं तो ट्राई करता हूँ कि क्वेश्चन के पढ़ते पढ़ते अगर कुछ आइडिया आ गया कि ये कर सकते हैं इसमें, तो साइड में लिखता हूँ।
ठीक है सर।
ये सर आज फर्स्ट जीडी था सर।
पराली पराली सर। यस सर। जी सर। ओके। यस सर, वो बीच में चांस मिलता है ना बोलने का सर।
सर वो स्टार्टिंग में जो इन्होंने पॉइंट्स रखे थे तो सर मेरे पॉइंट्स दूसरे अलग थे, तो सर मुझे लग रहा था कि मैं अलग जा रहा हूँ थोड़ा लाइन में। मैं सर इन्होंने स्टार्टिंग में सर वो जो स्टार्टिंग करी थी वो मैंने जो सर स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट्स रखे थे वो अलग थे। यस यस
ठीक है सर।
अब जो दूसरी टीम है गाइस, जिनको भी ज्वाइन करना है प्लीज आप लोग वीडियो ऑन करिए और आप लोग इनका एनालिसिस करिए, ठीक है, 1 by 1। ईच एंड एवरीवन्स फीडबैक आई वांट, ईच एंड एवरीवन्स। ओके गाइस, फास्ट गाइस, आई डोंट हैव टाइम प्लीज, है ना, आई वांट टू प्रिपेयर कंटेंट आल्सो। हिरल आपका निकलना चाहिए, ठीक है, आप सिलेक्ट होना चाहिए इस बार। ओके
Yes, sir, I'll try.
रुद्राक्ष, यू टू। और आप दोनों ने अगर किया है ना, हाँ मेरे को उम्मीद है काफी आपसे, ठीक है, बिकॉज यू आर गुड, गुड। ओके नेक्स्ट, एक और व्यक्ति कौन है, और दो 7 ही व्यक्ति है यार, बाकी के लोग आओ प्लीज। 23 स्टूडेंट्स, 7 ओनली। नेक्स्ट प्रेम, और कौन कौन है, प्रवीण, प्रवीण राज, प्लीज आ जाओ। कौन कौन है, तरुण मीना, तरुण मीना फटाफट।
यस सर।
विभूति का हो गया, उत्तम का हो गया, सुधांशु का हो गया, और कौन है,
विवेक।
कमल का हो गया। अशोक जतावत के, अशोक आपके कितने बाकी है जीटी? आपके हो गए?
One is pending, sir.
हाँ हाँ
One is pending, sir. One is last one is pending, but I will join at the 7th, sir. I have interview on the 8th.
You have interview on 8th, so you will be joining on 7th of October. Understood. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Now how many 8 people
Yes,
have
sir.
joined? 2 people please more. दिव्यांशु कुमार एंड ये आप लोग कौन कौन है? प्लीज 2 जन प्लीज आ जाओ। अतुल आ गए हैं, कौन आ गया? विवेक जायसवाल प्लीज वीडियो ऑफ मत करिए गाइस। कौन मीना क्या कर रहे हैं आप?
सर वो बैंक जाते ऑफ हो गया।
अच्छा, दिव्यांशु कुमार के 3 जीटी हो गए। और कोई है क्या?
सर
प्रवीण राज, प्रेम प्रवीण राज कौन है यार आप लोग? एक
Sir,
जल्दी
I
आ।
can't join today, sir. I'll join.
हाँ
I can't join today, sir.
you can't join. Next who is joining?
सर myself विवेक।
Okay, join ना please. You
Yes,
already
sir.
joined?
सर मेरा पहला
किस
जीटी है। सर मेरा पहला जीटी है केमिकल ब्रांच से, 15 को इंटरव्यू है मेरा, तो अभी ज्वाइन करूँ या बाद में?
नहीं अभी करो, कोई इशू नहीं है। जीटी है तो कोई दिक्कत। देवेन आपके हो गए? देवेन
यस सर, मेरे हो गए, लेकिन अगर आप बोले तो ज्वाइन कर सकता हूँ, प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी।
अच्छा, अभी कितने हो गए अपने? सुधांशु कुमार का हो गया ना एक। प्रेम प्लीज, प्रेम कैन यू ज्वाइन? प्रेम का नहीं हुआ शायद। सर नेक्स्ट जीटी कब शेड्यूल होगा? कल होगा। अभी अपने कितने 9 लोग हैं ना? प्रेम आ गए ना? चलो प्रेम आ गए, बढ़िया 10 लोग हो गए अपने। ठीक है ओके। सो गाइस सेटिंग आप लोग की ऑन है ना, जैसे मैंने बताया था आप लोग को। ठीक है, टॉप राइट में व्यू का ऑप्शन है, उस पर मल्टी स्पीकर मोड ऑन कर लीजिए। और एक और ऑप्शन होता है हाइड नॉन वीडियो पार्टिसिपेंट, ऑन कर दीजिए, ताकि जो व्यक्ति बोलेगा है ना, तो आप लोग को वही दिखेगा। तब वो दिखेगा, थोड़ा बड़े में दिखेगा। प्लीज़ वीडियो ऑफ मत करिए। किसने वीडियो ऑफ किया अभी? गोपाल भुक्या प्लीज़ वीडियो ऑफ मत करिए। आई हैव टेकन योर नेम, यू आर इन द पार्ट ऑफ जीटी, प्लीज़। ओके चलो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं फिर। तो गाइस अब मैं सीधा स्क्रीन शेयर कर रहा हूँ आप लोग के स्क्रीन के सामने। राइट, आप लोग को पता है क्या टॉपिक आपके स्टार्ट करो।
Sir, am I part of the GT?
यस मनीष कुशवाहा ऑलरेडी told that you are part. मनीष विवेक तरुण बरसिंह,
यस सर।
अतुल, पवन, रुद्राक्ष, हिरल, प्रेम, गोपाल भुक्या। ठीक है भुक्या गोपाल आप एसटी कैटेगरी से है। ठीक है, तो अच्छे से प्रैक्टिस करिए। कौन सी ब्रांच से आप?
मैकेनिकल से।
सिलेक्शन चाहिए। ठीक है
ठीक है सर।
बढ़िया करके आइए। बाकी मैंने ऑब्जर्व तो और किसको किया नहीं है। पवन
सर मेरा भी फर्स्ट टाइम है।
पवन अभी मिस्टेक नहीं करना इस जीटी में। ठीक है
सर सर।
फर्स्ट जीटी है, मैं जानता हूँ। आप लोग पहले से आना चाहिए था ना। आज एक हफ्ते के बाद आप एनरोल कर, ऑलमोस्ट आई गेस हफ्ता हो गया है ना। डे 1 से प्रैक्टिस करिएगा तो अलग ही लेवल का कॉन्फिडेंस रहता है। How many minutes done? The screenshot like you can start the discussion.
Good evening, team. So today we are going to discuss on the topic that HPCL and India is currently facing an international disruption, and because of which crude oil cargoes and shipping blockage is taking place. So there are certain sectors which are hampered because of this. So those critical sectors are aviation, hospital, and defense. So there is a shortage of fuel supply to these sectors. Also, customers are also affected by this sector. HPCL's own customers are also affected because they are demanding the daily supply of the fuel, and we cannot decrease the supply because it might lead to economic losses. So, and we also don't want to any news spread about the fuel shortage. So our task as a team is to first work on the allocation of the fuel. Then we should manage the short-term crisis management. We should develop a short-term crisis management system, and we should develop a communication strategy to the public, and then we should work on long-term strategy.
Very good.
Very good. I
Analyze
want
all
to
the
add one
first,
point.
first of all,
I
we
want to
organize
add.
all the time. First of all, we organize a small committee or to identify the problem, what the sector we have the main problems over there, analyze their prioritize, which sector want to require efficient or continuously full supply. Uh, in my point of view, like a defense hospital or storage defense hospital, schools, etc., require them more efficiently way to the fuel supply. First,
Yes,
we
you are right.
I think
It depends
I
upon the
think
reserve of our HPCL, so that the uh, primary support is to be given for the hospital and defense. At the same time, we also balance our commercial industrial users.
yes, I
Yeah,
agree with your
And
and
points. I
I
think
want to add one
we
point.
have to ration our supply very thoughtfully because we only need to manage this crisis for a 2 week program. So I think first we should focus on the short term short term supply management. So as
Yes,
mentioned in the case study, the most important areas for where we need to keep backup for our hospitals, aviation, and defense. So first, we need to think about do they already have backup to fund to sustain them for 2 weeks? Because we also cannot lose our other customers and transport other things, and we also cannot let this thing escalate in the media. So I think we should first discuss on the short-term strategy, and then we can discuss on how we should prevent this from happening in the long term.
I agree with that. I agree with Hiran Sharma.
To reduce the short-term crisis management, borrowing from the other refineries also very important at this time to reduce the short-term crisis. And also we have to give instead of that thing, we have to go through import and export. And for the communicate strategy, arrange the farmers and meeting to explain our problem to the stakeholders. That's my point.
Yes,
So I agree with all this. On short term, we can
effective communication
Boring.
is to be built up with our stakeholders and our partners, so that the prioritizing will be done and we will know the results of them. With that, we will balance our reserves.
I think
And
first
to
we
the-
need to look into our reserves, and then we should try that we do not need to, like, we should have enough reserves already. If we have, then we won't need to like make we this issue won't be that much big of a deal if we already have enough reserves. Or we can also try to borrow fuel from other refineries so that we can we can communicate this to stakeholders for the short term being.
Yeah,
And
we
then
can collaborate with the upstream organization that are working on exploration of crude oil in India, like ONGC and Halliburton. So we can have a amount of fuel from them, crude oil from them, and we can, like, communication strategy. We have to work on communication strategy as well to prevent the panic between the public. So for communication strategy, we can like increase the amount of supply of power fuel, so that the amount of supply of normal fuel can decrease to a certain value, which we can overcome in 2 weeks.
I completely agree with
We
that.
also can.
Emergency needed
But
purpose, for
before
the
moving
emergency
to the
needed purpose,
short-term
this
crisis,
we
should
have to go through. For the emergency purpose, we have to collide with the other refineries as main important, because in hospitals defense according to our priority, hospitals is main important, and also our partners also important. For this, colliding with the other refineries and going through this idea, I think this is my point.
as
We also
short-term
go for
crisis
the
is
other
concerned,
type
we
of
should look into
other
the
type of renewable resource. We go another renewable resources, not just solar energy. We are going in the EV sectors also. If there is a
as given in the problem statement, the crisis is not only for 2 weeks. It may extend due to the port blockages or shipment delays. So we should prepare accordingly, and there should be a clear communication to our customers, industrials, so that they are already prepared for the situation and they don't panic along with that. So we should use our HPCL social media platforms, our retail outlets to communicate with the customers so that they don't panic, and also. After this short crisis is done, we should focus on the long-term strategies too, so that in future, if these problems arrive, we are already prepared for it. So we should focus on biofuels. We should tie up with some other ventures to develop strategic reserves.
I think in terms of communicating strategy, I think we should release our helpline numbers in every possible media, and we should also encourage other news outlet also to relay them that what's the issue, and the issue about the things that which is taking place, and we should also let them remind them that the priority takes place with defense first, then other things that happens nation. Protecting the nation comes first. Then after that, we should target about speaking about the hospitals. Then after that, we should speak about the topics like aviation and other transportation issues. And secondly,
Yeah,
I
we
think
can make.
I see your
And
point
we
about
also take
raising the helpline and social media outreach, but my another concern about this point is, wouldn't it create panic among our customers and other people. Like,
But I think creating trust is much more greater. I think if we don't have them trust on us, then who will then trust them? So
Yeah, so we
if
need to
suppose
maintain
they
a
say
We
clear
can
balance
prices
promote the
rise,
between
use
sharing
of.
information
prices
and
rise
also not
highly, so
let the
without any
customer don't
reason.
panic also.
I think the first question
Yeah,
was.
we
I think the first question
partnership.
was. I think the first question was the short-term solution. In the short-term solution, aviation, hospitals, and defense, these are absolutely non-negotiable. We cannot cut any fuel from this amount. And since HPCL is already a part of ONGC, we can borrow crude oil from ONGC itself. That's the short-term solution. Then we have to stop the panic. Then we have to stop the first. We have to focus on the short-term solutions.
Okay, so
That's
before
fine.
To
we
reduce the shortage,
calculate,
to reduce the shortage problem, we have to arrange some domestic alternative biofuels also. That mobile units also we have to give
That
for the who is
alternate
merchant.
biofuels, I think alternate biofuels
We
are
have
a
to
solution,
send
but
them.
they are long-term solutions. We cannot borrow alternative biofuel solutions, etc. We have to allocate the funds wisely. And aviation, hospital, and defense are non-negotiable at any cost.
okay, to
Yeah.
sum up the short-term approach, so
Yes.
first we are reserving our backups and everything we have for the important sectors like aviation, hospitals, and defense. And then we are also trying to borrow, if needed, we'll borrow
On
fuel
ONGC.
from other
Yeah.
refineries, collaborate with, as suggested by someone, that we can collaborate, we can borrow from ONGC and other import. If needed, we can also import. And then about the media communication, I think, as someone suggested, we can raise the awareness helpline, and uh, I think I agree with the point that we should have a clear, transparent communication with our stakeholders, but while also trying to not create a panic, because in the backup we are already trying to raise our reserves by borrowing and importing and stuff. So I think while keeping clear communication, we should also not try not to raise panic among the social media.
Yeah, we
But
can promote
That is
communication,
how we should promote the
carpooling and
long
usage
communication
of public
is
transportation, so that
communication trans
people uses these type of thing more. And also we can, we don't want like panic between the public, so we can do carpooling, public transportation, and we can promote such kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
For the
I think now we should
communication
long-term
move for the
solution, to
transparency
long-term
is the
reduce
solution
the
approach.
fuel
more important.
fuel
We have
crisis,
already
for
sum
the
up the
long-term
short-term
solution.
approaches.
For the
Communication
Then we should
long-term
move to the
transparency is
reduce the
the
long-term
short,
solution side.
for the long-term
Yes, sir.
shortage crisis, we have to not depend upon the one country. We have to depend. We have to collaborate with some different countries also, and the storage unit, extra storage units, and back up the fuel. We have to storage these things.
I have counter
This is
argument
Yeah,
to
I
make.
think.
I have counter argument to make to Pawan. He said that we have to not depend on one country, but the problem is of post blockage from the ships and shipping. I mean, India imports 90% of its crude oil from other countries. So that means we cannot afford. It's not possible to not borrow the oil. So we have to uh, use the E20 technology, like using biofuels, or use 20% ethanol. That will reduce the cost by 65%. That is the long-term strategy. We
right.
cannot
For
cut
long
fuel.
Yeah,
term, we
we
need
can
to rely on
expand more
multiple
on
options so that if any of the options in
We
future gets
cannot cut fuel.
blocked, so we can rely on multiple options. For right now, the problem is of port blockages. So we can develop, we can partner with some other companies to develop ports around corners of India, so that also we can partner with other countries. Like, not only rely on OPEC countries, we should also buy fruits from Russia or other countries. So this will help from dependency on some single countries. And first, we should also develop strategic reserves. That is the second option.
Yes, sir.
Very
Because
low.
In my point of view,
for the long-term strategies,
for
we can do.
long-term strategies, in my point of view, and for the long-term strategy, we have developed first infrastructure. Infrastructure like made more storage tanks near the emergency areas, where we easily transport the fuels to the different area where we require, and and then improve our communication system and transparency, because transparency is very important among the peoples and our stakeholders, because we have a limited supply of an oil. तो we have तो फिर हमें वो प्रायोरिटाइज करना पड़ेगा कि कौन सी जरूरी चीजें हैं, कौन सी बेकार चीजें हैं। जैसे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए हम थोड़ा कम भी दें वो भी चलेगा, पर जो डिफेंस और हॉस्पिटल्स के जनरेटर्स के लिए चलाने के लिए जो फ्यूल चाहिए वो हमें रेगुलरली चाहिए, क्योंकि उसके इमरजेंसी जो है वो कभी भी आ सकती है। पर जो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है, जो इधर उधर जाने के लिए है, जो हमारे इधर गुड्स को पहुंचाने के लिए, जो उसको हम थोड़े लिमिटेड सप्लाई में हम उनको प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं, जितना उनको सफिशिएंट चाहिए, ना कि उनका टैंक फुल करके हम उनको आगे जाने के लिए दें।
Yeah, I agree with your point.
So
And
next thing we
talking about long term, we know that prevention is better than cure. So we should expend more on exploration. We should increase our budget on exploration as well as on R&D. Also, we should look forward to alternate energy so that such kind of whenever situation happen, we are ready and well prepared for these.
yes, we should definitely
yeah.
increase our biofuel production, and also we should also focus on the other renewable energy alternatives whenever needed for the purpose, and also we should have a proper planning and everything. If the situation arises again, we should focus on preserving our fuel more, keeping more backup, and yes, if anyone would like to more
I think we missed one point. I think we missed
Infrastructure is to be developed. Infrastructure is to be
one point.
developed for the reserving our long-term risk, so that in that infrastructure we will store that for a proper amount of time, and renewable energy is to be boosted up so that future will be enhanced.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
But everyone is talking about long-term investment. Absolutely. Terrific points from everyone. But we have missed one point. Since there is a 2 weeks blockage of crude oil in the field of aviation, hospital, defense, industry and commerce, now the customers are losing trust in HPCL. And we have not established any good method that would re-establish that would not keep customers from losing trust in HPCL corporation. So this is the problem we have not addressed properly.
Yeah, I think
So
you raised
for
the
this, we have to give
fuel.
some renewable sources and energy. This ethanol, adding ethanol, through that also
These
we
are
can
long-term
increase the
solutions. These are long-term solutions. I want short-term solutions for this
I
immediate.
think for this, one of my friends told that we should be clear and with the situation that is going on with our customer. So we should tell them through the news and aware them about the situation so that they are and promote carpooling and like public transportation so that they understand the situation and there is no panic between them.
Good point.
Yeah.
That is one of the good points.
जो फ्यूल शॉर्टेज प्रॉब्लम है काफी क्रिटिकल प्रॉब्लम है। इससे हमें अपने कस्टमर को काफी ट्रस्ट इशू भी हो सकता है, तो हमें काफी ध्यान से जो भी अपन कदम उठाएं सोच समझ के उठाने चाहिए, क्योंकि आज का टाइम है सोशल मीडिया है, इसमें कुछ भी अफवाहें उड़ सकती हैं और इसका फायदा जो अदर फ्यूल कंपनी है वो उठा सकती हैं। इससे फ्यूल प्राइस भी काफी हाइक कर सकती हैं और जिसके कारण फ्यूल पंप में काफी ट्रैफिक लग सकता है, जिससे ट्रांसपोर्टेशन पूरा बिगड़ सकता है। और सर हाई प्रायोरिटाइज है
if we
उसके
effectively
लिए
manage
ट्रांस
in
But I
this
want
we
a
can
specific solution.
automatically
We want
the
a
trust
specific
will be
solution.
So in such situations, we can ask the Renewable and Energy Department of Government to issue an official statement asking, relaying such notions about the situation that we are going on, so that it will be authentic. And such proof can be promoted in other big news TV channels like ZTV or any other media.
Okay, guys. So
And
now
I think it's
we have
time for
approached the time.
conclusion.
We should now conclude.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should conclude. But before that, I want to raise one point. I think education is most important. Most people don't know where crude oil or petroleum comes from. If HPCL stops giving oil to all the sectors, then people stop having trust in them. So we'll have to educate them that India imports 90% of the oil from other countries. So it's very common to have shortages, and they will understand. So
And in the future, we should also try to reduce it.
conclude.
Okay, guys. Now is the time to conclude because we have a time shortage. we have discussed the problem. The problem is of fuel shortage for 2 weeks, and it, as per the port blockages, it may also extend. So we focus on short-term crisis management, like allocation of fuel to only emergency like components like hospitals, defense, and other things. And for our industrial and other equipments transportation, we can supply a short like at rightly managed quantity of fuel so that the shortage is we can manage the short-term crisis. Also, we also focus on communications so that the customers don't panic and instead don't start piling up the petrols. That will create forward loop of that shortages. And long term, we discussed very good points like strategic reserves, creating strategic reserves, tying up with multiple countries, and working on next generation fuel setup like biofuels and solar energies. That was a very healthy discussion, I think.
आप लोग किन किन को बाहर कर सकते हैं इसे बताओ। Yes.
मुझे इंट्रो थोड़ा सा लंबा लगा और मतलब ऐसा लगा कि रिपीट हुआ है जो कंटेंट दे रखा था स्लाइड में।
यस सर, मुझे भी इंट्रो के ऊपर ही कहना है कि इंट्रो था लंबा हो गया, उसको शॉर्ट में डायरेक्ट टास्क करना चाहिए था, पॉइंट पे जंप करना चाहिए था। और दूसरा, इसमें अभी भी कुछ लोगों ने मतलब नाम लिया है, बात काटा है, जो मैंने पहले गलती किया था। ये इस ग्रुप में हुआ है।
मनीष थोड़ा सा
हाँ।
सटली तुम अपना पॉइंट पुट कर सकते हो, मतलब पॉइंट्स अच्छे पुट कर रहे हो ठीक है, लेकिन अपना पॉइंट थोड़ा सटली पुट कर सकते
Sir, I am not getting an opening.
हो। It's okay, but you can't, even if you don't have an opening, it doesn't